Good morning, everybody. I'm Ademar Albertin from EXIN, and I'm also with Rita Pilon.
Yeah, I'm a product owner at EXIN, so but we're together. We are taking care of the life cycle of programs and the products, and so we're also taking care of the Agile Coach module, and that is what this webinar is about.
That's very much correct. So today we are going to present you the Agile Coach exclusively for ATOS to better explain to you which kind of roles the ATOS can get at this model. And then, of course, we created already many questions and answers that we are going to pass through this as well. But beforehand, we are going to present you the whole process. And then in the end, if you have any other additional question, please do not hesitate to use the tab questions located on your GoToWebinar control panel, located probably on the right side of your screen. Just look it up for the tab questions, and then you can send the questions to us. In the end of the webinar, we're going to pick this up. Okay, so we wish you a pleasant presentation. So our agenda for today, we are going to provide you an overview about the certification, the process, the ATOS role, and then we're going to also to provide you the information about the next EXIN Agile Coach assessment date and locations and facilities and so on. So this is going to be the agenda for today. So the first thing, the EXIN Agile Coach certification. Probably you already know that EXIN created so many years ago the EXIN Agile Scrum program that in the past used to be Agile Scrum. That we created the first model called Foundation, Agile Scrum Foundation. Then later we introduced the EXIN Agile Scrum Master. And then about 3 years ago, we created the EXIN Agile Scrum Product Owner and the Product Owner Bridge in the market. And they became a big hit to the market, and many ATOS that are engaged with us, and many candidates they are striving to get the EXIN certifications in this field. But by having many conversations with our chief examiner, that is Ari Benecum, sorry, that is one of the Agile co-writers. So we were discussing about why not to create the Agile Coach certification. And then based on these conversations, and then also many inputs from ATOS and candidates and practitioners from the market, we came up with the model Agile Coach from EXIN. But then, of course, we had to slightly change the program. So the program is still being called EXIN Agile Scrum. However, we split up the program in 2 different layers. The Agile Scrum layer that's still covering both Agile and Scrum, in other words, is about the mindset and the requirements and also the practices. But then the Agile Coach, the Agile layer, we introduced the Agile Coach. So basically, the Agile Coach layer, it's only one model, and it's the most highest level of the EXIN Agile Scrum program. So this examination model or certification was built only for the experienced professionals for the market. It's not for starters or for those that are aiming to simply understand what Agile is. It's much more than this. Those that are applying for this certification, they need to coach a whole enterprise to drive them exactly to the point that Agile would like to create the correct mindset, not for one single department, but for the whole organization. So the level of the certification is very much high. And the main topics that are being covered during the assessment are diagnostic Agile, and then candidates, they need to know at least some basics of Agile, a deep dive into Agile, then all the Agile practices are going to be covered, and then the candidates must have the knowledge to apply this at organizations. They need to show off their experience. They need to demonstrate how they are facilitating the change at organizations previously. They need to show how they are guiding organizations to move from traditional mindset to an agile mindset. And also they need to show and demonstrate their own coaching techniques. So again, all these previous knowledge are required already for the candidates when they are applying for this level of certification. So again, this is not for starters. This is for really experienced professionals. So then, how the process works. And over here, I would like to get your full attention because this is extremely important for you to understand, because we launched this certification during the previous year, and then many of you sent us many questions about, I don't see a role for me over there in the process. So then we created all these flows to guarantee that you are going to understand what it is the role of the ATOS over here for this model. So basically, at the first stage, what ATOS can do. ATOS, based on the preparation guide that is published at EXIN.com website, you can create a session or a training or a workshop based on the prep guide of the EXIN Agile Coach to better prepare your own candidates for the assessment. Okay? Then basically, after you publish your agenda, you are going to start to receive queries from candidates, and then of course you are going to deliver the session or training or the workshop. Doesn't matter how you call it or how you position it, as long as this is based on the prep guide somehow. Then you are going to deliver the session to the candidates, and then after that, the ATO can request a specific Agile Coach assessment for its own candidates, or you can send the candidates to be assessed by EXIN directly at the public days that is published also at EXIN.com website. So I would like to highlight over here one of the main differences between a normal current exam from EXIN that usually you are working with, that you just open the session and apply the papers for the candidates. Over here, this is an oral session for the candidates. So this is an oral session that's going to take the whole day. So basically, it's an examination whereby candidates, they need to show off behavior, attitude, knowledge, competences, and this is impossible to be covered by just multiple choice questions or essay questions based on paper or computer based. So this is face-to-face meeting with assessors. So as soon as you finish to deliver your workshop or training or preparation for your own candidates, you can have two different paths to go. The first one, you have candidates enough to hold a session at your own location, which means that you are going to call to EXIN and let us know by saying, EXIN, I have 6 candidates over here ready to go for the examination. And then we are going to plan together with you the date and the time that we are going to assess your candidates, which means we are going to send our assessors and process managers to your own location, and we are going to do the session only for you. Or you can have the second option. You can decide, I don't want to hold any session at my place. I would very much prefer to send the candidates at one of the EXIN public days agenda. And then you can refer the candidates to the EXIN.com website, and then or you or the candidates can fulfill the candidates data to us, and we are going to register the candidate for the next public day event for the EXIN Agile Coach certification. Okay? So great. So after you decided to fulfill the candidate information to the EXIN, so we are going to receive this documentation from the candidates. The application form is available on PartnerNet already. So if you want to see how it looks like the application form and the required documents, please access EXIN.com, go to the EXIN Agile Coach certification webpage. Then over there you can see the main documents, and then also at PartnerNet, then you can download the application form. Then after fulfilling all the required documents for each of the candidates, then you are going to send this to EXIN. We are going to evaluate all the documents that have been sent to us. If we notice that it's missing something, then we are going to send you back with an explanation note by stating which documents or information is lacking, and then you have one chance to resubmit this again. Once you resubmit again the documentation, so then we're going to evaluate, and then in case you are going to hold the session, or you are going to do the whole process on behalf of the candidate, we are going to invoice you as ATO. But in the circumstances that you decide not to hold anything and then you just refer the candidate to us, and then the candidate at this moment is also going to receive the invoice. So doesn't matter who started the process or who is going to be the responsible at this stage. After receiving all documents, then we are going to invoice the candidates or the ATOS itself. And then as soon as the invoice was sent, then the registering of the candidate is going to be done, and then the candidate information is going to be sent forward to one of the assessors. The assessor is going to receive the information from the candidate from EXIN, and then the assessor is going to evaluate the candidate's profile and experience. And then at this point, if the assessor decides that the candidate doesn't have the experience that is being required for this assessment, then we have the responsibility to reject the candidate. And then if the candidate is rejected at this point of the process, EXIN is going to refund 50% of that specific candidate. So for example, if you send to us 6 candidates, 2 of them, they don't have experience enough, so then we're going to refund you 50% for 2 candidates, but not for the whole candidates that are planned for the session. Once this is done, then the candidate and the assessor, they are going to have the first interview to agree the scenario that is going to be applied for the candidate during the assessment. This interview is going to be performed online via online technology, such as, for example, GoToWebinar or Skype, or whenever the technology is going to take place. So they're going to talk about how the assessment is going to happen, which kind of behavior is being expected, competence is going to be expected, and so on. Then, as soon as this is agreed between both parts, assessor and the candidate, then they're going to go for the assessment day. But of course, before the assessment day, it's better for the candidates to better prepare themselves according to the scenario and all the things that were agreed with the assessor. And then during the assessment day, the candidates need to show off all their knowledge, competences, behavior, and so on. And then as soon as the assessment day is finalized, so then the assessors, they're going to send to EXIN all the grades from the candidates, and then EXIN is going to take the final decision to reject the candidate or to accept the candidate, and then of course to issue the digital badge and also the certificate for the successful candidates. Of course, in this point, if one or more candidates that are rejected, there is no refund possible. So basically, the next try, the process restart again. Okay. So by showing this process to you, I would like to explain by doing some questions and answers what are the ATO's role. So the first question that usually would pop up in your minds about, so can I offer a training for candidates preparing for the EXIN Agile Coach certification? Of course you can. You are free to offer any type of training session, workshop, or whatever you would better decide to call it. And the only thing that we ask for is that you need to develop like a training or a session or a workshop that is based on the preparation guide that is published at EXIN.com, because then this is going to be aligned with the assessment and about what are and already with the competencies and behavior and content knowledge that is being expected from the candidates. And then, of course, you need to be accredited for. So you can activate your accreditation for the EXIN Agile Coach certification by just reaching out to EXIN and then ask this to be activated on your account, and then our teams are going to assess you. So then the second question is, usually many of you offer the training and also the exam together in a single package for the candidate. Can you do the same for the EXIN Agile Coach assessment? Yes, you can. But please check the EXIN Agile Coach assessment price to guarantee that you are going to define the right prices totally for your own candidates. Okay? So if you don't know yet which price it is, please reach out to your regional manager or to our CSC, and then they're going to provide you the pricing. But then, of course, if you say, no, I assessment itself, I will not sell the assessment as a package, but I will offer, for example, the training, the preparation, or only the administration support for the candidates when it comes down to fulfilling all the candidate information to be submitted to EXIN. Yes, that's possible as well. And then, of course, you are free to charge any kind of administrative fee for the services you are offering to your own candidates. So there is two possibilities over here. So the first possibility that I talked about over this slide is you are offering a training and only the training, and then you can, for example, refer the candidates to the EXIN website to allow them to register themselves to the public days, or you have the chance to provide a training workshop plus the assessment, and then you are going to sell the package. And then, of course, you need to align the prices with our prices to guarantee that we're going to charge the correctly amount. And then the third option for you to be engaged with this model is by offering administrative support only, or training plus administrative support for the candidates when submitting the candidates information to the EXIN public sessions. So there are many ways over here, at least 3 ways that I explained over this slide that you can get engaged with the EXIN Agile Coach. Then the next question, is there a formal accreditation and is this mandatory? Yes, all ATOs that would like to be engaged with this model or offer any of these parts, they need to be accredited by EXIN. As you already are accredited for EXIN, basically you just need to activate this accreditation. But then please check with your regional manager or our CSC team to better activate this model also on your account. Then the next question, do the trainers need to have completed the Agile Coach assessment themselves in order to deliver the Agile Coach preparation or training or workshop? The main answer is no. But however, it is highly recommended that the trainers that are going to deliver this kind of workshop or preparation or support for the candidates, they are also certified as EXIN Agile Coach, because it's quite tricky, because this is not like a multiple choice exam. This is about the whole experience, and how can you teach something that you never passed through the experience? Somehow there will be a gap between the trainers and the candidates and the whole process. So we are not going to set this up as mandatory. This is up to you to decide how you're going to better define your business model. But we highly recommend that your trainer go to the process, because they can better experience what it is about. And then, is there a TTT for trainers? No, since since the Agile Coach is based on practical elements, it's based on experience of the candidate. So basically, it's impossible for us to define only one TTT or one BTM for this model. So it's about the experience itself. So it's impossible for EXIN to create a sort of TTT or BTM for the trainers. Okay. And I'm so sorry that I forgot to mention on the point before that the trainers that are going to deliver these workshops or trainings, they need to hold at least or the Agile Scrum Master or Product Owner certification or some other certification that is equivalent to these certifications stated over here. Okay, to guarantee some level of quality. So then, next question, where can I find information on the candidate requirements for the Agile Coach certification? Basically on the EXIN Agile Coach web page. If you don't know where is located this web page, just basically open up exin.com website, go to certifications, select Agile program, and then you are going to see the EXIN Agile Coach badge and product page over there. This is the EXIN Agile Coach web page. It is stated over here for you. Okay. And then the next question is also related to the previous one regarding to the TTC. If there is some specific literature or BTM covering the main EXIN and Agile Coach topics, unfortunately, there isn't a BTM or Agile Coach because it's a high-level certification, so it's expected, like the candidates already know what they are talking about over this model when they are going to apply for this. So basically, I would say to you that the candidates, they are already certified as a Agile Scrum Master or Agile Scrum Product Owner. They have more possibilities to be approved or accepted for the assessment because they already developed many of the concepts and practices that are being required for this model as well. So of course, like these both models can provide you some kind of basis to create your own training based on the requirements of the Agile Coach. However, the practicing is the most important thing. The coaching is the most important thing. So it's impossible for us to create some kind of literature or BTM covering the main requirements for the EXIN Agile Coach. So again, this highlights the importance of the trainers to experience the assessment themselves, because by doing so, they're going to be better prepared to deliver the training or the preparation for your own candidates before they come to the assessment day. Then the next question, is it possible for EXIN to deliver NATO-specific Agile Coach assessment session only for my candidates? Yes, that's possible, of course. However, you would need to have at least from 4 to 6 confirmed candidates. So 4 is the minimum and 6 is the maximum. And then, of course, if you have more than 6, then we need to plan more than one day, but then it's possible. It's just to give you like the idea and the vision about how many candidates are being required as minimum, as maximum for one day of session. Okay. And then by providing the specific Agile Coach assessment only for your own candidates based on your own location, please reach out to EXIN to create like the best pricing to you. So reach out to your salesperson to get your quotation, and then of course create your own offers to the market. Then the next question, in which languages is the assessment available? Currently, we only offer the assessment in English, but however, this may change as assessors become qualified in local markets. So of course, we are trying as much as we can to develop even more different markets and different languages. But as this is an oral exam, so we need to rely on assessors by speaking natively other languages to guarantee that the candidates are going to be assessed in a fair way. But however, candidates and ATOs are permitted to hire translators, but this is at their own risk and cost for the session. So in other words, EXIN by itself will not hire translators by ourselves. If you'd like to offer the Agile Coach session at your own location for your own candidates, and then by using your native language, by using translators, that's possible, but you are the one needing to hire the translator, and also guaranteeing that the translator is going to do a good job by translating all the information to the assessors and for the candidates and vice versa. Okay. The next question, if the assessment session will take place at my location and only for our own candidates, is it possible to include a translator for that specific session? Yes, but then the responsibility of hiring the translator will remain with the ATO. And then, of course, this would increase your final price for the candidates. And then you are going to create like your own offer to the candidates. We are not going to interfere on this. Next question. How far in advance should this be requested? Or, for example, if you decided to have your own session to your own candidates, how much time in advance you should request to us this session? You need to request to EXIN the session at least 4 months in advance. So basically, if in January you called us saying, I would like to assess my own candidate, so then this means that your candidate is going to be assessed in May of the same year. So the timeline is required because we need to receive the candidate's information. The candidates need to go for a first interview, and then later we need to prepare the agenda for the assessors. The assessors need to sometimes to fly out to your own place. There are some logistics in the background happening, and then also the assessment day that is going to be planned. So basically, this is the timeline that we requested for. And then next question, how can I request an ATO specific assessment session for a group of candidates? Then basically you have a web form that is available on the PartnerNet, and then you can just go over there and then you can download the form and send to EXIN, and then we're going to take on from there. And then we're going to start the planning with you. Is there a discount for the assessment for the price at ATOS? Well, we are not guaranteeing any kind of discount, but of course we can do something. So you can better contact your sales representative to check if there is any discount on the assessment price according to your particular scenario. So, and then also if you have any trainer that is accredited as a process manager for the EXIN Agile Coach assessment, so then they will be, she will be compensated for his role, her role at the session. So then there is a kickback that can happen over there. So it's impossible for us like overall say that is there a discount or there isn't a discount. So it's better when you call us and then explain your own scenario, and then from there we can decide how to better create the pricing to you. Then the next question, is it possible to arrange a remote session? Unfortunately, there is no possibility to arrange a remote session, and all the candidates, they are going to be assessed physically at the assessment day. But of course, we are always looking up for options to scale up the process for the candidates and also for the ATOS. So in the future, this may be available as well, but for now, it's only physical sessions. Then, who is involved in the assessment process? There are always 2 or 3 assessors involved in the formal assessment for the candidates, and then depends on the size of the group. So, for example, if we have only 4 candidates, then it's most likely to have 2 assessors. If we have 6 candidates in the room, so then it's more likely to have 3 assessors. And also, apart from the assessors, we also have what we call the process manager that is responsible for guiding and validating the process during the day of the assessment day and also before the assessment day, because the process manager is going to handle all the candidate information, guaranteeing that the candidates being assessed with the most fairness that is possible from the EI perspective. So the process manager is also a qualified assessor, but he or she is playing that role at the time. So the process manager is so important as it is the assessors. So there is no one that is more important to the other. The process manager is going to be the guide for the candidates during the whole process, whereby the assessors, they are over there to evaluate the candidates. And then, can my trainers to become an official assessor or process managers? Yes, they can, but cannot. But unfortunately, they cannot assess their own ATOS candidates. This is, of course, to avoid any kind of conflict of interest. And then, when they are playing this role of process manager or assessors, they are reporting directly to EXIN. So EXIN will manage them, of course, only for this specific role and for the time frames of the process only. And then, of course, they're going to be compensated for their activities. So yes, if you would like to let your own trainers to become official assessors or process managers, that's possible. And then also this happens always one day after the assessment day. So for example, let's say that you decided to send your trainers to the next EXIN Agile Coach public day, and then they can attend the EXIN Agile Coach assessment, and then during the next day they can receive the training to become official assessor or process manager. So one thing is together with the other, so it's up to you to decide if you are going to first send your candidates to become EXIN Agile Coach certified, and also if they're going to become official assessor or process managers as well. So then, the next EXIN Agile Coach assessment at public days that is going to happen, it's going to be on June 17 of this year. And then the price per candidate or slash trainer, of course, it's 1,950 euros excluding VAT. And then if they decided to also to become assessor or process manager, the training is going to take place during the next day, and the price is 1,200 euros per candidate as well, excluding VAT. And this is the price like on top of the assessment price. So both are going to be charged together in case you decided to go for both. But of course, you can do only the assessment, and then your trainers are going to be more able to deliver the training or preparation for your own candidates. The time and place, it's going the assessment and also the training. It's going to take place in Utrecht in the Netherlands at EXIN facilities, and the timing is going to be during the whole day. So let's say from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 5. And the enrollment deadline for this session is March 17 of this year. So basically today it's missing about less than a month. So you have about like a 20-25 days to decide if you are going to enroll your trainings or not. And if you decide to do so, then you can use the following link, exin.com/certifications/EXIN Agile Coach exam, and then you can enroll your trainers from there. And then if you decide to take the assessor's process manager training, also gives us a heads up about what you'd like to do, and then we're going to enroll them to both of the sessions or only for one of the sessions. But now I would like to ask you if you have other questions, because then you can reply to all of them just now. You can reminding you that you can use the tab questions that is located on your GoToWebinar control panel, probably on the right side of your screen. It's a small tab whereby is written dashboard, attendees, polls, questions. Just drop your question over there for us to read and to better reply. we received one question. Does assessor or process managers need to be certified as Agile Coach as well?
Yes, an assessor or process manager needs to be a certified Agile Coach as well, because we have to be sure that they really meet the same requirements as we ask from the candidates, and so they can also identify they can compare the competencies that we are asking from an assessor or process manager with what the candidate is capable of and their experience. And so only if you meet those requirements yourself, you're able to assess candidates in these subjects.
You're welcome. Is there any other question? Oh, yes. Not sure I understood. This is a brand new, right? No session has been held yet, right? Is there any equivalent in other certifications entities? Yes, this is new, but not brand new.
No.
Because we introduced it past year, but we already have candidates certified on this. We have already assessors ready to go. And also we have the support for this certification from Ari Benekum, that is one of the Agile co-creators.
Mhm.
So we are well supported over here, because then there is no better person than Ari to better support someone that has created the Agile itself back then in time. So
And moreover, we worked closely together with
yes.
someone who is active in a global facilitators community, and they also set up assessments and certifications for recognized facilitators. And of course, if you look at what an Agile Coach is actually doing, they are facilitating companies and organizations to change to a more agile culture. And so we benefited a lot from the experience of this facilitators professional organization, and we were able to model and to copy from their models, in which they have a lot of experience, so they already built up this kind of assessments and kind of certification. So that was also really helpful. These are established practices.
Any other question? You're welcome. Yes. You talked about assessment that could be performed by ATOS. Doesn't mean a company could ask for the pre-assessment before sending their guys to official assessment. Yes, that's exactly this. You, as an ATO, you can create a training as you would do for any other EXIN certifications, for example, for the EXIN Agile Scrum Master or for the EXIN Agile Product Owner. And then you can create the training or workshop, you name it, and then you are going to deliver this preparation for the candidates, and then you can send them to us, and then it's up to you if you are going to sell your preparation plus the assessment, the examination, or if you are going to sell only the preparation, and then you are going to send to us the candidates to be assessed in a public day, let's say. So the strategy on how you are going to offer this belongs to you. But yes, by getting accredited, then you can offer the preparation, the training for the candidates.
And in a way, if you follow the application form for the candidates, and together with the preparation guide, it is actually quite clear what the requirements are for candidates. So you can also set up a practice session in which you practice the interview, or you even practice the observed practicum, because the scenarios are also open for candidates, so they can prepare themselves. So you can practice. They are already required to fill in a lot of information in the application form, and that is already a kind of pre-assessment. And so in that way, you can decide to fill this training with exercises that are quite similar to a complete assessment from EXIN. So yes, you absolutely can prepare your candidates.
Is there any other question? You're welcome.
Okay, then, so as ATO, we can imagine delivering a ready-to-go certificate.
Good. Yeah, it was an observation.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Is there any other question? So I'm just going to give 1 minute to see if any other is coming. But if not, we are already saying thank you for your attendance. It was a pleasure to deliver this webinar to you. We hoped to be able to deliver all the information that is being required for you, that we were clear enough with all the information. And of course, we'd like to see you engaged with this model as well. And then later, if you have further questions, you can always send the questions to our teams that they're going to reach out to us, and we have all the pleasure to reply to you. Okay, so one more time, thank you very much for your attendance, and we hope to see you engaged with the EXIN Agile Coach certification.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.